Tonight on To The Point.
Doko is very activated by the arena, period. It could be a game, it could be a concert.
As the Kings get ready to take on the Warriors, it's win or be eliminated. What to know ahead of the high-stakes matchup. Plus, the search continues for where to release a sexually violent predator. Why the latest option fell through. Day 2 in the hush money trial of former President Donald Trump, where the jury selection stands. And addressing California's water crisis. How a local agency is working to create long-term water security.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell, and we already know it's win or be eliminated as the Sacramento Kings take on the Golden State Warriors in their first play-in game. So you already know we have team coverage tonight getting you ready for that game. Our Kevin John inside the arena with more for what this means for the future of the season. And then we have Luke Cleary, who's out in Doko with fans who are very excited to cheer on the Kings. Let's start tonight off with our Kevin John. Kevin, this is all giving us kind of deja vu to round 1 of last year's playoff series.
Hey, Alex. Yeah, you could call it deja vu, but it's not the kind of deja vu Kings fans would like to be reminded of. Of course, it was 1 year ago when the Golden State Warriors came into Golden One Center, beating the Kings in that decisive Game 7 game, and effectively ending the Kings season, sending them home packing. So best believe this time around, the Kings are looking for some revenge over their NorCal rivals there. Now, with that being said, the Golden State Warriors do enter tonight's contest extremely hot. They have won 10 out of their last 12 games and are finding their stride this late in the season. The Kings, on the other hand, have struggled over their last couple of weeks. Remember, it was just 2.5 weeks ago the Kings were sitting in that 6th seed, and they have fallen all the way down to the 9th seed, which is what brings us to tonight, the play-in tournament, winner take all, winner go home, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, unlike the playoff series last year, it was the best of 7. Tonight is the best of 1, so it's kind of like a Super Bowl type atmosphere because there's just one game and anything can happen. Now, keep in mind that the Kings and Warriors have played each other 4 times throughout the regular season. They have split the season series with one another. But one of the most interesting stats out of their season series, the last 3 games that they have played have been decided by 1 point. Yes, just 1 point. So that tells you that we're definitely in for a competitive contest here tonight inside of Golden One Center. Now, in case you're wondering, the Warriors are 2-point favorites coming into tonight's game, but come on, we all know that you can never pay attention to who's favored to win or not, because once the clock starts, anything can happen. One thing's for sure, it's gonna be loud inside of this place, it's gonna be raucous inside of this place, and of course, I will have a full recap of this game at 11 o'clock right back here at ABC 10. In the meantime, Alex, I know all these Kings fans tonight are looking forward, or shall I say hoping, to see the Kings light the beam.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much. And tickets for this game were some of the most expensive of the season. Many fans will be watching from local businesses around Doko, hoping for another win. And that's exactly where we'll find our Luke Cleary tonight. Luke, how's the energy out there?
Hey, Alex. Yeah, you know, it can get loud in the Golden One Center, but that doesn't hold a candle to, or should I say, shake a cowbell at how loud it can get out here in Doko. So take a look over here. This is where people are starting to file their way into the Golden One Center. We see a ton of Kings fans across generations, alongside shoulder to shoulder with Warriors fans who had a pretty short drive to get here along I-80. And then over here, all eyes are on Tom's Watch Bar as fans are watching that all-important matchup between the LA Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans. The winner of this game here between the Warriors and the Kings will go on to play the winner of that game over there, and it's still close in the 4th quarter. We've been talking to Kings fans about how they're feeling going into this rematch with the Golden State Warriors. Here's what they had to say. What's at stake tonight?
A lot. Like, I was here last year for the playoffs, and this area was crazy. It was awesome. So I'm hoping they do it again so we can run it back.
Does pressure like this put your loyalties to the test at all, or does it help fortify your fanhood?
Got to just go straight ahead, north-south. We got to just do it.
How would you describe this fan base?
Loyal. Extremely loyal. Thirsty. Yeah. Well, in a couple different ways.
Let's go, Kings!
Light the beam! Light the beam!
Light the beam! Let's go, Kings!
And I would be remiss, Alex, if I didn't mention that there's been a bit of friendly trash talk between these two fan bases. Of course, the Warriors pretty recently won the NBA championship, and they won't let you forget it in the 4 rings that they've won in the most recent era. One Warriors fan telling me that it was like the little brother against the big brother, but you know, Kings fans are coming in tonight with a couple of injuries, but still they're very hungry. They want to win this game, and how sweet that revenge would be to knock the Warriors completely out of the play-in tournament, send them packing back home with their tail between their legs, with the bright victory beam in their rearview mirror as they head on down I-80 westbound back to the Bay Area. And for now, we'll send it back over to you, Alex.
Luke, that is all we can hope for. I know Monica's already getting the forecast ready. Thank you so much. And if you still want to try to grab a seat for the game, there are still tickets available on Ticketmaster, but you will have to wait in a queue to get them online. At last check, prices were anywhere from the low hundreds. That's quite literally for the nosebleed seats, all the way down to, or all the way up to $3,000 a piece. So if you're looking for a ticket, I would do it right now. And you can read more about the Kings game tonight and what it means for the future of the season on our website, abc10.com. Developing tonight in Sacramento, fire officials say that 3 people are in critical condition due to a carbon monoxide poisoning. It happened this afternoon in an apartment complex off Center Parkway. Officials say 2 children and a woman were taken to the hospital. The fire department says the portable generator was being used in the room. We will have updates as we learn more. Still ahead onto the point, sustaining water supply in California, how one local agency is working to help create long-term water security.
We're looking at cloud cover streaming in for tonight. No precipitation. Warming trend continues when we reach that peak heat.
Plus, questions remain about where a sexually violent predator will be released, why the latest option fell through. All right, welcome back. You are taking a live look at the Golden One Center. Fans are making their way into the game, and that stadium is getting ready to be very full because the Warriors and the Kings are getting ready to play their first play-in game, and that game starts at 7 o'clock, just about 20 minutes out. And Monica, it is not looking bad outside right now.
No, my heart's racing like the first day I was on the air. Trying to do
Are you
it.
serious?
I'm so excited.
She has a little candle, by the way, on her desk that says "Light the Beam." So she's ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. So excited.
I mean, I grew up in Indiana. Basketball is everything, right? All right, here's a look at what we're expecting. We have a few clouds moving through, but temperatures really warmed up nicely. 70s up and down the valley, 60s for the foothills, as well as in the Sierra for those highs today. Our forecast for tonight with our Light the Beam forecast, as well as just out and about in Doco or taking that evening walk. Temperatures cooling into the 60s. We're mostly with clear skies. We pick up a few clouds coming in later on tonight. Our sunset not until 7:44. Watch out for those mosquitoes, though. They're pretty much out in full force. Cloud cover streaming through for tonight. We'll see it a really thin veil of clouds for tomorrow, but temperatures continuing to climb into the weekend. A bit breezy for those northwest winds for tomorrow and sticking with that mix of sun and clouds. Peak heat doesn't really reach us until the weekend. You can see how our contours really shifting deep into the red zone for our Saturday. Finally, getting a weekend in here with some dry and warm weather. That's going to keep the storm track to the north of us. Low pressure system well off the coast here. It doesn't look like we're going to have much of a rainy forecast until we get way into the end of the month. So in the meantime, we're enjoying these beautiful conditions. 60s up top for the Sierra, 60s and 70s down the hill. Across the coast, we've got highs in the 70s. We'll warm to near 80 tomorrow afternoon. After morning lows near 50, just a beautiful morning as well. 5-day regional forecast certainly seeing how those temperatures warm into the beginning of our weekend and even for the end of the weekend. For the foothills, we're in the mid-70s. Just watch out for those waterways. They're still quite cold, fast, and high. Temperatures in the 80s over the weekend, a little cooler next week. Still dry, though.
All right, a beautiful weekend ahead. Next, on to the point, how one local agency is working to help create long-term water security. Plus, the future of a sexually violent predator in Placer County, the latest option falling through. What's next in the process? And the latest on Trump's hush money trial, the new developments in the search for a jury. All right, one of the biggest challenges California faces is sustaining a reliable water supply for nearly 40 million people. ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Wood shows us how one local agency is working on collaborative efforts to create new strategies for long-term water security.
Looking at the feet of snow still on the ground in the Sierra, it's hard to imagine there is growing concern about snowpack and the water it provides.
These wet years are the ones that give us the time to really start investing in the future, because we're not so focused on mitigating problems now, and we can start to focus further off on ensuring water security.
Andrew leads the UC Berkeley Central Sierra Snow Lab in Soda Springs. One of the many tasks is taking daily recordings of the snowpack. The project started in the 1940s to monitor hydrologic issues in the West.
Their goals were a little lofty. They used the term solved, and I think for those of us that know water, there's no solving anything really.
Especially when the window for building snowpack seems to be shrinking. Instead of starting in October and ending in May, snow is falling later and melting earlier.
Realistically, a lot of the time we're developing our snowpack mid-December or late December, and it's occasionally leaving the hill as early as April on bad years.
This is critical information for California's water management, which is largely built on the Sierra snowpack existing. The whole way the state thinks about water is starting to shift due to climate change, and that's why the El Dorado Water Agency has come up with a new watershed plan.
Our programmatic watershed plan is a roadmap to help us actively manage our Upper American River watershed through collective implementation.
Identifying 8 overarching challenges like wildfires, environment, and workforce, they are now creating a new long-term resiliency roadmap. 17 different agencies working together from the federal and local level to tribal communities and nonprofits.
We have lots of different watershed kind of collaboratives, but each one has a small area, so we wanted to really bring together that whole focus, recognizing everything's interconnected.
The watershed includes the north, middle, and south forks of the American River, plus Folsom Lake and even parts of the Cosumnes River. The value of this natural resource resulting in almost $15 billion per year in goods and services, ranging from water supply to recreation.
We had 7 million tourists come recreate just in this watershed, and there was anywhere from local, statewide, to even folks in New Zealand. So it's a global kind of impact watershed.
One that's important now and hopefully in the future.
It's just a matter of time again until we do get another drought year or successive drought years. And these are the times when we really need to plan for that.
Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods back with us right now. So my first question, what happens next?
Well, now that the watershed plan is in place, the next step is to start implementing some of the strategies they've identified to help the American River really be a natural resource for years to come.
All right. And speaking of water, California might soon step in to regulate groundwater use in part of the San Joaquin Valley. The issue is control over a farming dependent area where state officials say local water agencies haven't come up with a strong enough plan for the future. If the state water board steps in, officials could require people to report how much groundwater they take and pay fees for it. The plan is still in its hearing phases and still has to be voted on. Tonight, Placer County residents are relieved as the state is still not any closer to finding a home for the potential release of a sexually violent predator. It is a story that our Jeannie Nguyen has been following for months, and lawmakers are calling this a win. Community members are hoping the state listens to their pleas.
It was a huge relief.
As a self-proclaimed citizen journalist, Alicia Watkins says she wants the best for the people in Placer County, and that means keeping convicted sexually violent predators like William Stevenson away from her community.
I have to be honest and say I don't agree to any release.
For the past few weeks, the Department of State Hospitals was eyeing a piece of tribal land as the possible location to release Stevenson. This week, the Placer County District Attorney's Office announced the DSH made the decision that the property is no longer an option.
Right now we have a win, and so we're going to keep up the pressure. We're going to keep being vigilant.
Senator Brian Jones has been vocal about reforming the SVP program, with launching a bipartisan audit on Liberty Healthcare and DSH and introducing multiple bills to keep the state accountable. With this recent decision, he believes the extra pressure on the state is working.
They're under audit right now, so they're having to answer questions not publicly yet, but that information is going to become available to the public probably in the fall. And so they're feeling the pressure.
Last week, Jones's SAFE Act was approved in the Senate Public Safety Committee.
The SAFE Act is going to require that the Department of State Hospitals sign off on the placements of where these sexually violent predators are being placed.
While it's still unclear what the state will decide next in regards to Stevenson, Watkins hopes the decision will maintain safety within the community.
I would like to see an ankle monitor situation, and I would like regular sustained check-ins for the rest of his life so that we at least know where he is and what he's doing.
All right, and as we mentioned, Jeannie has been following this for quite some time. We know that you reached out to the state today about this decision. Did they give you any more response on why they decided to do this?
The Department of State Hospitals, Alex, wouldn't tell me why, but they did say they are committed to public safety in a fiscally responsible manner. Now, I also did reach out to William Stevenson's attorney to ask what the next steps are. I also didn't get a response, but the Placer County District Attorney's Office did say that Stevenson's attorney is going to file some paperwork and ask for him to be released on a transient type of status.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. And you already know we will continue to follow this for you. Tonight, Davis police are investigating 2 hate crimes they say involve a man cutting down Israeli flags. One incident caught on video shows the suspect with a knife. Police say it happened early Friday morning on Claremont Drive. A similar incident was also reported not far on L Street. Davis police is looking for anyone who may have any video, pictures, or information on who this individual might be. For the second year in a row, a bill to ban homeless encampments near schools, transit stops, and other areas throughout California has failed. A bipartisan group of lawmakers was hoping to pass Senate Bill 1011. It's a measure to take the city of San Diego's unsafe camping ordinance statewide. And you may remember it was introduced back in February. It would have made camping within 500 feet of a school, open space, or major transit stop a misdemeanor or infraction, as well as ban camping on public sidewalks if beds were available in local homeless shelters. The bill also had steps to help connect people to services they may need. And some lawmakers who opposed the bill felt it criminalized those who were unhoused and made the problem invisible. And now to a second day of jury selection in the hush money trial of former President Donald Trump. A pool of New Yorkers were in court once again as lawyers tried to determine which of them should help decide Donald Trump's fate. Now, prosecutors and defense attorneys were asking them things like, what do you make of Trump? And also how their social media might influence their opinions. Right now, 6 jurors have been sworn in. 12 more jurors still need to be picked. And Trump is facing 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to cover up a payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels to keep their alleged affair secret from voters before the 2016 election. He's pleaded not guilty and has denied any wrongdoing or any relationship with Daniels.
I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense, some accountant. I didn't know.
Prosecutors have filed a formal request to hold Trump in contempt over a series of recent social media posts blasting witnesses Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. His attorneys say that Trump was only responding to their attacks. All right, next on To The Point, the new tool in our own backyard helping to fight against climate change. There's new high tech in the fight against climate change, and it's right in our backyard. Coming up tomorrow on To The Point, we take you to San Joaquin County to see the first in the nation facility promising to reduce pollution by sucking it right out of the air. It's called direct air capture. This technology has been compared to a time machine with promises of turning back the clock on climate change.
To take carbon directly out of the air and store it permanently is an incredible opportunity, and I want to see more.
Tomorrow at 6:30, right here on To The Point, we take you inside the plant and hear from experts on the risks and rewards. And before we go, we want to take you out one more time to the Golden One Center. Fans, you can see right there, making their way into the stadium as the Kings get ready to take on the Warriors for their first play-in game. And it is a very high-stakes game for the Kings as they will either win or be eliminated. So the game starts in just a few minutes at 7 o'clock. And guess what? It's going to be an absolutely beautiful night tonight when we light the beam. So thank you so much for watching our show and for always inviting us into your home. We love telling your stories and we love getting to meet you. So if you have something you think we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. Remember, people are strangers we just haven't gotten a chance to know yet. So take a little bit of time to get to know someone. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.